Hello everyone, my name is Siddarth Shetty and I welcome you all for a market analysis video where we are going to discuss on the possible movements of the market for the upcoming week. We are also going to discuss on very good setups like for a swing trade, intraday and also for the positional trade. So make sure you watch this video completely. Now before we start with the analysis, I would want to ask you all to subscribe to this channel because there's a lot of good content that we'll be posting in the future, and also our team is working really hard to reach the trading community. So make sure you subscribe and share this with your trading friends. All right, now let's start with the analysis. So as per the SGX Nifty data, on Monday, that is tomorrow, the market is going to open gap down. So almost about 100 to 150 points as of now. It is showing a gap down opening in Nifty. Now the chart shown here is of Nifty. Now if I take you all to a daily time frame chart in Nifty, you can see that Nifty, after making a very uptrend move, currently it is consolidating in a kind of a flag and pole pattern. Now recently it has taken three resistance from the top, and I've just drawn the trend lines. So if you just see, the beauty of Nifty is that the moving average used here is a 200 moving average. Now you can observe that the price has come somewhere close to the moving average. So usually moving average, it acts as a resistance or a support. Now in this case, moving average, you can see here, it is acting as a support. Even if you just see the previous history, whenever the price comes near the moving average, it just bounces from there. And right now you can see that the price has come somewhere near the moving average. That is first point. Now you know that Nifty is somewhere between the flag and pole pattern. Now what to do next? Now if you just look at the daily candle, that is the candle that closed on Friday, this candle has kind of engulfed the previous candle. So this is called a bearish engulfing pattern. Now if you go to a smaller time frame, that is in a 1 hour time frame, we can see that Nifty has been consolidating in this particular range. So it has been consolidating in the same range. So the range is from 16,830 to 17,427. Now what to do next? Now basically, before going to the levels, if I just draw the Fibonacci retracement from the previous impulsive move to the high, you can see that Nifty exactly has taken a support near 16,891, which also happens to be the golden ratio of the Fibonacci. So 0.5 is considered to be one of the strong support as per the Fibonacci golden ratio. Now what to do next on Monday, that is tomorrow? So as soon as Nifty, now we know that Nifty is opening around 100 points gap up, which is approximately around 16,900, somewhere in that level. So as soon as the market opens, you just have to see if Nifty takes the immediate support near this point, that is 16,840, in that point. If it takes a support, then you have to wait for the price action and you can immediately go for a buy. If at all, if Nifty breaks this zone of 16,850, then the immediate next short target will be 16,600 and thereby 16,381. Now you can see that this is one range, and there's also one more range which I have drawn. So that range is basically a very, very important support. You can see that whenever the price comes over here, it bounces. Came here, bounced. Right now Nifty is in that particular range. You know that there's a 200 moving average coming into this play. There's a two important horizontal support. Also there's a Fibonacci support. So that's about Nifty. So downside target I've already given you. Upside target, which I don't think that is going to happen likely in the next 2 to 3 days, but anyways I'll just let you know the target. If Nifty gives closing above 17,400, you can go for the target of 17,600 and 17,800. But remember, this won't happen in 1 or 2 days. It might slowly go consolidation and then thereby giving a breakout from that consolidation. So Nifty will move something in that direction. But as of now, Nifty is not in a bearish trend until it breaches 16,800. So do not be biased toward negative. All right. So that's about Nifty. Now talking about Bank Nifty. Now if I just show you Bank Nifty in a daily time frame, I can see that Bank Nifty is moving in kind of a triangular pattern. So basically, it took a support at this point, made a high, again took a support, again makes a next high, takes a support, takes a resistance, again comes down. Here there was a breakdown, but immediately you can see that the Bank Nifty came back to that triangular pattern zone, and right now it is compressing. So basically, usually what happens in such kind of a triangular pattern is that the more the consolidation that happens in a triangular pattern, the more force it comes out from either direction. So if the breakout comes in a upper side direction, then the bank nifty is going to go up. If the breakdown happens in a downward direction, then the price is going to fall. So as of now, bank nifty is consolidating, and the beauty of this is that if I just turn on 200 moving average, which is already turned down, you can see that bank nifty is somewhere close to a 200 moving average. Now what next? Now if I just take you all to a smaller time frame, and if I just again draw a Fibonacci retracement from this point to this point, you can see that bank nifty has taken a beautiful support at 0.5 level. So 0.5 level again is considered to be a very strong support, and it's a golden ratio. So in 15 minutes time frame, if bank nifty comes below this trend line, so this is basically the support trend line, you can draw it in an hourly time frame. So just draw, connect the support from the bottom to the next one, you will automatically get the preceding points. Now if bank nifty comes below this trend line, that is around 35,600. So if it comes below that, then you can go for a short trade, which will immediately give you a target of 35,000. That is a whole number, and on the lower side you have 34,421. So again, this is a important support. Bank nifty can take a very important support from this point. As soon as if this is breached, if it takes a small pullback, then when it comes near 34,500, it can take a support. So make sure you book your targets over there. Alright, now on the upper side, if bank nifty comes somewhere near the trend line, and if it starts reversing, or if it kind of forms a morning star or a doji candle, you can go long with the small stop loss just below that candle's low. That means the candle's wick. If you just keep the stop loss below that candle's wick, you can go long, and you can take the target of 36,671. So this is initially going to be your target, that is the previous day's high, and thereby you can go up to this point, that is 37,237. But why that target? Because you can see that bank nifty has a gap over here. So this gap has yet to be filled. So until this gap is filled, you can take the target, and you can book your profit. Fine. Now going to the stocks, the first stock which I'm going to show you all is Mahindra and Mahindra. Now if you see Mahindra and Mahindra price action, this is in a daily time frame. You can see that Mahindra and Mahindra is actually consolidating in this particular range. So recently it had taken a resistance from exactly the top point. So it is around 944, and if you just look Mahindra and Mahindra in a smaller time frame, that is in a 1 hour time frame, you can see that Mahindra and Mahindra is beautifully going in an uptrend. Okay, and it is taking a support of this trend line. So basically this is the trend line which it is taking the support. Alright, now at this moment you can see that it has appeared close to the resistance, and on top you can also see that it has formed a kind of a double top pattern. Okay, so this is the double top. Alright, and on Friday you can also see that it has breached the neckline of the double top pattern, and right now it has also formed a small green candle. So what to do next? Now if I just turn on relative strength index indicator, you can see that the price is going higher and higher and higher. Alright, but the momentum, this is dropping lower and lower and lower, which clearly says that there is a bearish divergence over here. Now if you have not checked out the RSI divergence video, I'll put the link in the description below. Make sure you watch that video completely to understand what is bullish divergence, what is bearish divergence. So now you can see that Mahindra and Mahindra has formed a bearish divergence that is also on the top of the resistance. Now what to do next? Now as soon as tomorrow, that is on Monday, if Mahindra and Mahindra gives a closing below the previous day's low, you can immediately go for a short, or if it opens two gap down, just wait for a price action. If it starts coming up and if it takes any sort of a rejection candle, you can immediately short it and put a stop loss above that candle's high, and you can go for a target of 874 and 843. Now remember, this is too much to achieve in the intraday, could be too much. You can either take a future lot, or you can even buy put options over here. So simple analysis in Mahindra and Mahindra, and thereby there's also a if it becomes bearish for kind of a short term, then it can even come around 750 levels as well, and when the stock comes near 750, you can initiate a swing trade, that is you can go long when the price comes near 750. So simple analysis in Mahindra and Mahindra, you can get a very good target in Mahindra and Mahindra if it breaks the trend line towards the downside. Fine. Now going to the next stock, that is L&T. Now LNT, if I just show you in a daily time frame, that in a bigger perspective, you can see that LNT had recently formed it had formed a head and shoulders pattern. Now there was a breakdown from this pattern, but immediately due to the market global sentiment, it was broken down, but then it again came back to that same zone. But right now, if you observe, now it has given a breakdown from the head and shoulders pattern, and also if you observe a 200 moving average, which clearly says that it's in a kind of a bearish pattern. So head and shoulders pattern is a bearish pattern, and on Friday you can see that it has given a beautiful red candle. So on Monday, this is going to go with the market's trend if it is bearish. Now in a shorter time frame, in a smaller time frame, this is in a 15 minutes time frame, you can see that LNT is in a going in a kind of a trend line pattern. So you can see that it took couple of supports and thereby took a resistance, and now it has come close to the trend line. So what to do next? Tomorrow, if at all LNT gives a closing below the previous day's low, that is 1689, you can immediately go for a short, and you can achieve this target of 1671 and 1657. So this is on a lower side target, and on the upper side, if it takes a trend line support over here, you can again go for a long position with a small stop loss. With the small stop loss below this day's low and the target of 1725. So simple analysis in LNT, but I would say go with the short side than with the long. Going to the next stock, that is IndusInd Bank. Now IndusInd Bank, if I open in a daily time frame, you can see that IndusInd Bank had formed a beautiful pattern. It's a triangular pattern, and you can see here IndusInd Bank had made an all-time high of 2038, and thereby it started falling, consolidated, and this was during a COVID crash. It had almost come to 269 rupees, and right now we can see that it has given a breakout from that triangular pattern and has not really given a big move, right? So in an hourly time frame, if you just observe, it had formed recently a inverse head and shoulders kind of a pattern. So basically this is the left shoulder, this is the head, and right now it is near the right shoulder. Now simple analysis in IndusInd Bank, if it gives a closing below 958, you can immediately go for a short and you'll achieve the target of 944 and thereby 926. And if it gives a upside closing that is above 995, or let's keep it a whole number, that is if it gives a closing above 1000 rupees, then you can go for a target. You can go for a swing trade. It's not a intraday. You can go for a swing trade target of 1068, and for a short term you can go for 1213. So simple analysis in IndusInd Bank. You can use this if you're going short, then go for intraday. If you're going long, then go for swing trade. So that's about IndusInd Bank. Talking about the next bank, that is Axis Bank. Now if I show you Axis Bank in a bigger perspective, I can see that Axis Bank is forming a beautiful inverse head and shoulders pattern. So this is a very bullish pattern, and I was expecting that this time it would break this resistance and it would form all-time high, but it didn't form like that. It just formed a double top, and then due to the market global sentiment, that is the weak sentiment, it started falling. Now right now, if you just see Axis Bank is going in kind of a trend line. Okay, so this is the support it took, and thereby it consolidated for some time, again made a higher high. You can see that it has taken couple of support. Over here it had given a breakdown, but immediately it came back to the zone, and right now it is near the trend line support. So on Monday, that is tomorrow, as soon as Axis Bank breaks this support, or if it breaks the trend line, and if it takes a support over here, you can even go long over here. You can buy with a small stop loss, and you can go for a swing trade. A very good swing trade can be achieved in Axis Bank. If at all, if this is not sustained, you can even short over here at the 706, and you can go for 1% target, 1 or 1.5% target. So both the opportunities available in Axis Bank. You can either go short if it if you get Axis Bank, if it's opening flat somewhere near the previous day's low, you can immediately short it, and you can go with the target of 705. Now if at all, if Axis Bank opens near 705 or somewhere near 716, wait for a price action. If there is a pullback and if there is a negative candle, then you can short it, and then you can go for a target of 705. After coming to 705, if you see that if it is kind of forming a bullish pattern or a bullish engulfing candle or a morning star, you can again go long for a short term. So that's about Axis Bank. Now going to the last stock of the day, that is Nerolac. Now Nerolac, if I just show you in a daily time frame, you can see that Nerolac had very huge massive fall from 622. It had formed a double top and then there was a huge fall, and right now you can see that after a fall there is a consolidation. So basically we call this as a bearish flag. So bearish flag is something like this: the market keeps falling and falling, at one point it starts consolidating. So this consolidation, we can even call it as a accumulation zone to short it. So once this comes out from this kind of a bearish flag, it again falls down. So you can see here, this is kind of a similar pattern. There's a massive fall and then there is a market that is trying to consolidate, and if when this comes out from this pattern, it's again going to fall even more. But right now we cannot tell that Nerolac is bearish. Why? Because it has not even come out from that chart pattern. Now this is a kind of a triangular pattern where the price is consolidating. You can see that on the top it is facing a beautiful horizontal resistance, but in the bottom it is taking a trend line support. Now what to do next? Very easy. If Nerolac comes out from this trend line, if it breaks down, then you're immediately going to get the target of 458, 450 and followed by 444. But remember, this is more than 3%. Yeah, it might fall or it may not fall, but you will get a very good target in Nerolac in the downside. Now on the upper side, if you feel that Nerolac is coming and if it is taking a support over here, you can even go long and you can go for a first target of this, that is 477. And if this is again breached, then you're going to get a huge target upside, that is of 495. So you can even initiate a swing position on upside as well as in the lower side. Also guys, I have one more very good stock for swing trade as well as intraday, that is the Infosys. Now if you just observe Infosys chart, you can see that Infosys has been falling from last several trading sessions, and from 1900 it has come all the way to 1567. Now just remember one thing: whenever a stock wants to correct, it never ever just keeps falling and falling. At some point it has to stop. Either it has to go sideways or it has to come out from that sideways pattern, and then it has to reverse, but it just can't keep falling and falling. Now if you just observe Infosys, right now it is at an important stage. Why important? Because around 1540 there's an important support. Now if you just go to a smaller time frame, I can see that Infosys is kind of forming a triangular pattern. Now in this what happens is, basically the price just keeps consolidating sideways and it keeps crushing itself and it gets compressed, and when it comes out, it comes out with a great force. So you can have opportunity on both the side. If it gives a breakout upside, then it's going to give you a target, that is the initial target would be around 1600, followed by 1625 and 1645. So tomorrow what you can do is, now if it is opening a gap down, so as soon as if price comes near 1552, and if you think that it is taking a support, then you can immediately go for a buy. There's one more conviction for me to be more towards the buying side, is because if I just turn on relative strength index, you can see that the price is actually going sideways, but the momentum is gradually increasing. So this phenomena is called as a bullish divergence. Now again, as I mentioned, if you have not checked out my previous video that is based on RSI indicator, that is how to spot relative divergence and bullish divergence, bearish divergence, make sure you check that out. I'll put the link in the description. Fine. So one more confirmation to go towards the buy side is that there's a divergence. Second, there is an important support. Third, the price has corrected too much. It has fallen a lot, almost up to 18%. Now if I just show you all, the price from the all-time high, it has fallen more than 18 to 19%. So at some point it has to stop, and that stopping period is this. So from here it has to either go sideways or it has to go upside. So for me, I have a more conviction saying that Infosys will go up from this point. Alright, so that's about Infosys. So I've given almost 8 stocks, including Nifty and Banknifty. So make sure you do not trade on all the 8. If you're trading on Nifty, then focus on Nifty. If you're trading on Banknifty, then focus on Banknifty. Just see which stock is weak. Now if at all market is opening in a bearish trend, then you just have to observe which momentum is weaker. Now, if Bank Nifty is falling too much than Nifty, then you have to trade with Bank Nifty. If Nifty is bullish and the market is also going bullish, then you have to trade with Nifty. Now, even when it comes to stock, you have to also observe which stock is going in the local trend. Now, if let's say Nifty is negative and L&T also is kind of showing a bearish sign, then you have to go with L&T because your probability will be high when you go with the market trend. So never make a mistake of going against the trend. Now, for example, if Nifty is positive and you're going for a short position, then there's a high chance that your trade won't work out. Why? Because the overall sentiment is positive, but you have chosen a stock in a negative. So don't do such kind of a mistake. So that's all as of now. I hope you guys learned something from this video. I've analyzed 8 good stocks and I've done a detailed analysis, that is from the top down analysis we call it as. So make sure you subscribe to this channel and also share this with your friends so that even they grow along with you and they too make good money from the market. So I'll see you in the next one. Happy trading and have a good week.